Hi, this is Marc from the ATV Guys, and this is my German Shepherd, Maverick. And today, the star of the day is the 2023 ZFORCE 950 Sport. Not the HO, 950. This is a whole new machine. Let's start by the most obvious thing, the engine. The engine on this one is the 963cc V-twin that we all know for since 2018. In this trim, it's at 85 horsepower. I don't really understand. There's a 90, an 85, a 79. Well, that's the specs. 85 horsepower for this thing, which is pretty good because this is a trail unit. This means it's 50 inches wide. We'll get back to the suspension and stuff later. For the engine, I love the new setup. And this one has a throttle by wire, so there's no cable in the throttle. So you have a mode on it for normal and sport, which dumbs down a little bit of the fueling for more comfort in normal mode and to save a bit of gas. Who wants to save gas in one of these? I don't know. Some people do. Some people must want it. So on the engine side, it's a well-known platform. It's known for its the 1000cc or 1000cc class engine is known for its reliability, its excellent fueling, and decent fuel mileage. So good on that. On the drive side, we've got the CVT, which is a trail block primary and in-van secondary from CV Tech, our Canadian company. Very good. I've talked about CV Tech a number of times. I'm not going to waste a whole bunch of time explaining to you how good these things are. They're just good. Transmission is a standard transmission with the dry clutch. What I like about it is they changed the shifter inside, and the shift action is very, very easy. It's probably one of the best shifting CFMOTOs I've got up to this day, so I'm very happy with that. Where we need to talk a little bit more is about the suspension. The suspension on this thing is totally new. So it's a ground-up design, and if you remember, or if you're quite familiar with the previous generations of trails, the rear A-arms were like box tubing and all this stuff. Kind of looked cheesy and cheap. And the spring rates were way off the chart. They never got the spring rate right on that machine. It always bounced all over the place. So what I'm happy to say is this one's got suspension. It's got some arced A-arms up front, a good size sway bar front and back, and a TTA type suspension in the back. And if you look from up here, I don't know if you'll be able, probably from here. If you're able to see it, is that the A-arm is not centered. It's skewed to the front, which makes the suspension geometry a little bit more to the rear, adds more stability, and this is the main feature of this unit. In all the trail, 50-inch, because this is 50-inch wide, of all the trail machines that I've sampled, except the Can-Am Maverick Trail, this one is the best handling. The way it handles bumps, ruts, and really going at it at a really good clip. I enjoy driving this thing, and I'm not known to like anything that's trail at 50 inches. I'm a performance-oriented guy. I like fast and machines that handle. So very, very surprised at how this thing actually handles. It is awesome compared to anything that was built before from CFMOTO. It's really a sweet handling machine. If we add to the handling the tires, no, these are not Maxxis. These are OBOR, O-B-O-R. It looks like a Maxxis clone, but very, very soft rubber. And I've actually sampled them on snow and ice, and they are decent. And another cool thing is check out these wheels. These could actually be offered as, aftermarket. They're so beautiful. I didn't like CFMOTO wheels in the time. I didn't always like them. This is pristine. This is classy, and it's an entry-level machine. So tires are good, great looking wheels. Brake setup is very, very easy. It's single pot calipers front and back. Brake engagement and pedal feel is very, very good, above average. Especially for a CFMOTO. In the CFMOTO line, this is above average braking. On a brand spanking new unit, usually CFMOTO, you have to break them in. You know, you have to burn them in a little bit before you get all the power. All the power was there from factory. I got this machine at exactly 0 kilometers. No, to be truthful, 5. So at 5, it's got like 80 something now. Brakes, awesome brakes. Steering is standard CFMOTO, but what's cool is all the electronics are inside the cab. You only have a rod protruding from the front and to the rack and pinion steering. Suspension, I was talking about suspension. Also, the shocks on this are adjustable, but just on top here. So you got one big button on top and a single coil spring, but this is a dual rate, so this where it's wind up much tighter. It's the comfort zone, and this is the shock absorption zone. Very, very nice. I really like the build quality on this. It's very, very well built. This, you know, I like the Z950 HOEX, the one with the 64-inch and a little bit bigger. I like the build quality on that, but this is a step above what was ever built at CFMOTO. I just hit this. This is the stock mirror. It comes with it. And for once, it's beautiful. And it's got a convex glass here. It's just a little bit of a wave, so you get a much better field of view from the mirrors. Why don't other manufacturers do that? It costs nothing. And it's hooked up to a profiled cage. What's cool about a profile cage is you can do this. Look, I mounted a half windshield and it's flush with the cage. So that's really, really nice. And the optional, because this is an option, but taking these on and off is like a 30-second job. It's really nice. Included is the roof. And again, it doesn't look weird. It just looks like a roof. It's even got a little spoiler out back, which makes it look a little bit more sporty. And the profile cage enables one thing that's very cool is there's already a kit offered to close the cab. For us Canadians that we actually ride in winter, it's very, very cool. And another cool thing is inside, we have provisions for heating. I'll show you that a little bit later. So again, check out this door. This is the stock door. You don't need to add fizzy-majigs, weird stuff with little rods to close up the door. This is how it comes from the factory. And check this out, how this thing closes. That's how a door should close. Very, very nice. Another thing on the body is the air intakes. We had issues in the past where the air intakes were in somewhat weird positions. Now, this is the engine air intake. And on the other side, no, this is the CVT air intake. And on the other side, same thing, same type. It's a frog skin, so you don't get dirt in there. But you have access to fresh air that is way above the line of the tires and outside of the wheel wells. Much cleaner air equals more power. Much cleaner air for the CVT equals better wear of the CVT components. It took them a while, but they did it. On the body side, what I like, if we go back to the suspension, the wheels are about 3 inches away from the most rear part of the frame. If you take out the ball here and everything, that means an angle of attack when you're coming down a hill or going up a hill. This thing is going to be very hard to hit the ground. And I'll show you a little something later, but there's something even better. You get a north storage area. And the clips from the proprietary clips from CFMOTO are here, so you can actually hook a storage box or all kinds of accessories that are going to be available eventually. There's more and more stuff. And what I like a lot about what CFMOTO is doing is they're making their own accessories now. It's not rebranded stuff that comes from a third-party company. They slap on a CFMOTO sticker. This is factory from CFMOTO. These accessories are very, very nice. Even look at the back. This is an accessory window. Check out, just the finishing touches makes, it gives value to the package, and I really like it. They're starting to master, basic accessories are being mastered right now from CFMOTO, and they're learning from Can-Am and Polaris, which are the kings of accessories, factory accessories. So, they kind of sat down and looked at what's happening, analyzed it, and now they're making their own accessories, which is, very, very nice. Included in this machine is as always, there's some pretty awesome lighting. Everything is LED. The front headlamps, it's oh my God, finally somebody got it right, because it's all LED. And usually, I don't know why, but manufacturers sometimes they just don't get the type of lighting that I like. And this is projector. It is quite powerful. There's DRLs in the rear, in the front. You can't miss this machine, and you know where you're going. You don't need that 52-inch light bar to be able to see where you're going. You can see where you're going stock as it is. Everybody's going to add lights, because the first thing I'm going to do if I buy one is I'm going to put lights on it. That's it. That's how it goes. But the whole package is very good. The assembly, the attention to detail in the assembly, panel gaps and all this stuff. This is Can-Am and Polaris quality. The gaps are good. And the paint, I'm not a fan of this color. Some people do like it, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I've seen a blue one, and it's really, really nice. Electric blue, very, very nice looking. But I'll say this. CFMOTO kind of discontinued the 800 trail. They had the 500 trail for a while, and the suspension actually sucked on that one. It wasn't, some people liked it. It wasn't up to par for a guy that rides like 5,000 kilometers a year in trails. You just get bounced around all over the place. This does not bounce around. I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but I think the bounce factor, let's say it's 100% on a 500 trail or an 800 trail of the previous generation, that's 100. This is 25%. Just because they made it so it doesn't shake and rattle all over the place. The suspension package, like you have adjustable shocks on it and all this stuff, like the other ones, but the spring rating, they finally got it right. The spring rate is good according to what you have on the body, because this thing is like 1,350 pounds. It's pretty much lightweight in this market, in the UTV market as it is. And you have, if you go from here to here, you have a 90-inch wheelbase on a 50-inch wide machine. This is going to be, especially front to back, this makes the machine much more stable, much more enjoyable to be able to drive. And if you want to tour with this thing, touring is actually possible without breaking your buns or breaking your back, because it's always shaking, having, having pain in your neck and all this stuff. So, this is just a walk-around video, because we're going to do later on, we're going to put cameras on this, and we're going to go and beat the living daylights out of this. Thanks, CFMOTO, for letting me beat the living crap out of your machines. I really appreciate it. But to finish it off, we need the inside. And we'll go pretty fast, because this video is getting a little bit long in the tooth. These doors, absolutely awesome. The only gripe I have, and it's not exactly a gripe, because even the Can-Am and the Polaris machines have that. The inside of the doors, they're bone straight, and it's a little bit, your arm is on that door. This is the only gripe that I have with the inside, and it's by design. It's not a question that it's not good. It's a question that it's a little bit small, because it's a trail unit. Now, The seats that I'm sitting on are the same seats that are on the new Z950 HO or the Sport or the HOEX, which I love these seats. They're wraparound. There's nice padding in them, and they're not as bouncy, but there's good, there's good feel. It's a nice place to sit, okay? And you have protection high enough to protect your head in case of if you roll over or roll backwards and you get a hit in the back. There's enough room to protect your head with that helmet. There's no more handbrake in this one. Shifter is right here. Shifter action is very, very easy. I like it. I don't know why they're doing this, but the cup holders are on the floor. That sucks, but I understand they didn't want to take any dash real estate, but that sucks. They could have put something here or whatever, but if you're riding in trails, it's cooler it's be to the ground, because if it spills, it's already on the ground, and there's huge holes, drain holes that you can actually open up to to let water out, or the soda pop or the bottle of water that just spilled all over the place. It's not that bad. Electrical connections, you got the standard lighter plug power outlet. In here, you have the remote for the winch, but at the same time, at the bottom here, you have two USB ports, which I missed in the live broadcast that I did. I didn't know they were there. It's cool because you can plug in your phone and put it in there to have it protected, because this is sealed. There's a nice seal here. So, cool thing. The only thing is you can't have accessories, USB accessories that are outside, because you're just going to cut the wire. So, put something in here with USBs instead, and it works. Switch gear is much better. It's more quality driven. I like it a lot. Lights are here. There's the normal and sport switch here. This is adjustable. The adjustable handle, which pops out like right up to here. Awesome, especially if you're riding with smaller ones. The small ones, always ride with it. Don't let them ride with a helmet. But this is easy to adjust. This is the huge cavern. It's cavernous. It's like how much stuff you can put in here is insane. Like, I'm just looking in case there's a wireless remote, and there is not. They give you a little funnel to put oil in your engine. Accessibility for maintenance is, let's say 10 is the hardest. It's about a 6.5 on 10. There's some components that are harder to reach, but it's still accessible through the back and all this stuff. So it's pretty good. Turning the key on, and what do you see? The first thing you see is that, wow, we have accent lights. This is the first UTV that I've seen with, company, like factory accent lights. Will it be bothersome at night? We'll give it a try and see how it is. But it's a nice touch. You have the regular dash that's available in pretty much any CFMOTO. You have the sport like this or normal. All the information's there. The temperature, the gas. You can RPM. You can scroll through a few settings that you want. It's good. It does the job. I like it. No problem there. The steering is very nice with a bottom, with a flat bottom. So if you got a big gut, like many of us guys in the 40s and 50s, we get the gut thing. And if you have a real good gut, you can still sit here quite comfortably, or be able to come in and out without, getting in the way of the steering wheel. And look at this. You see this here? Yes. You see this here? Yes, there is provision for factory heating in a trail machine. This should be very cool. We asked CFMOTO if we can have one of these kits. We'll see what we can do later on, and if it is available, we'll install it and find out how it is. Now I'm stoked about this thing, and you'll get the full ride report very soon. We're going to go out in the bush with cameras on board and see how it actually does, and show you how it does in there. But I'm very, very surprised how this machine is doing right off the bat. So I'm Marc. Behind the camera over there is my buddy Jason, and we're the ATV guys. So please like this video, subscribe to the channel, the YouTube channel, or subscribe to our page on Facebook. And you can join us on our group, which is about 25,000 members there, which is called the Canadian ATV UTV Nation. Because I'm going to ride, not to ride, I'm going to drive this thing. See you later.